From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. The emergency exodus from Jasper, Alberta is underway this morning with photos and videos shared on social media showing a long line of cars and trucks heading out, bumper to bumper. The area is under an evacuation order as a wildfire burns its way toward the community and the national park. Carolyn Campbell, one of the 4,000 people forced to leave, says it took her and her family over 3 hours to travel around 7 kilometers.
Which would normally take 3 minutes. So I think people were getting nervous.
Campbell says while everyone is nervous, they're also hopeful that things will get better in the Jasper area. And if threatening wildfires were not enough for BC residents to deal with, Environment Canada is warning about possible tornadoes in the province's central interior. In a series of weather warnings, the agency says severe thunderstorms could also bring heavy rain and hailstones the size of nickels. Heat warnings remain in effect for more than 24 communities, but the temperature is forecast to die down somewhat later today. A growing number of fires continue to burn across BC, 4 of which are currently categorized as wildfires of note. Now out to the East Coast, where the Canadian Food Inspection Agency is keeping close tabs on a worrisome parasite that has been confirmed in at least one area on Prince Edward Island. Officials say they've isolated a new sample and sent it for testing. Disease technical specialist Danielle Williams says the parasite, called multinucleate sphere X, or MSX, has been confirmed in Bedique Bay on the province's south shore. However, several other sites are now under suspicion, and the hope is that quick identification might help stop the spread and limit damage to the industry. Now, looking south of the border, where they're swapping signs at the Biden campaign headquarters in Delaware to read "Harris for President." Here's reporter Lionel Moise.
Harris traveled to Delaware yesterday, meeting with campaign staff in what was Biden's campaign headquarters.
I took on perpetrators of all kinds,
vowing she's ready to take on former President Trump.
Predators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
Now the center of her own race for the White House.
Harris has secured support from enough delegates to earn the party's nomination and has raised more than $81 million, a record sum for the 2024 political cycle. And finally, Britain's defeated Conservatives say they'll spend more than 3 months picking a new leader to replace former Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. Sunak remains acting leader until his successor is announced on November 2nd. The party said nominations open Wednesday and close 5 days later, with any Tory getting the support of 10 colleagues being eligible to run. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the clock is ticking down on Calgary's iconic Saddle Dome as construction begins on a replacement. Already dubbed Scotia Place, the new $800 million arena is expected to be completed in 2027 and will have a capacity of 18,400. 27-year-old Daniel Sprong says he's determined to make Vancouver more than a pit stop. The newest Canuck, who signed a 1-year deal with the West Coast squad, has played for 5 NHL teams since he was drafted in the second round by the Pittsburgh Penguins back in 2015. In the MLB, the Jays had the night off before starting a series against the visiting Tampa Bay Rays Tuesday. However, Juan Soto hit 2 of the Yankees' 5 home runs as New York salvaged a 4-game series split, posting a 9-1 victory over the Rays Monday. And finally, Inter Miami star Lionel Messi will not be playing in Wednesday's MLS All-Star game after suffering a right ankle injury in the recent Copa America tournament. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.